Work.
Good morning and welcome back to Saturday morning yoga at the lab on a Sunday. Thanks for joining me again. I'll give you a second. Today you'll need those 2 blocks or 2 pillows, whatever you've been using as your stem-sided props. You need 2 that are equal in size, and your blanket. We're going to start kind of where we left off last week with one of those restorative poses. Good. In a different time. So starting on our backs, supported, and then moving through some postures together. So take a second, get your stuff. If you already have it and you want to start the folding process. Blocks within reach and blanket opened. Shameless plug for my alma mater. Blanket opened. Start like a wide rectangle. We'll fold it like a hamburger instead of a hot dog. So not the narrow way, but the wide way. Grab it at the top corners, shake it out so it's nice and uniform. We'll do that same thing. So again, not the narrow, rather the wide. And one more time, shake it out. So we've got it in that smaller rectangle shape, like 3 folds that was, I think. So from here, grabbing it from the top folded edge, shake it out so it's nice and uniform again, and start a nice, tight, long, narrow roll. And that is going to go at the base of the shoulder blades, right where the shoulders meet the back. Ladies, up the bra line. You know, if everyone knows that, regardless, if you wear one or not, you can imagine. So from here, it's going to be, so right at the bra line, shoulders will hit that support, and we fold just the tops of the shoulders, glance over that roll, supported by the ground beneath you. And from here, it's choose your own adventure. You can take this shape with arms extended out to a T, palms face up, arms at a cactus, depending on how much space you have wherever you're practicing this morning. Or knees can be bent, feet as wide as the mat with the knees knocking in. It's going to be softer for the back, maybe a little less distracting if there's a puffy back this morning. If we'd like a little more, we can walk the legs straight forward and let the feet flop open. And even more so if you've got those pillows or your blocks available. Knees are bent, soles of the feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana, bound angle shape, recline bound angle shape. The block supporting just that outer portion of the knees, depending again on your proppage. You might need to go in closer toward the hips or thighs, or maybe down out distal toward the knees. Whatever works for you. Find that shape. If you don't need support at all, that's fine too. It just increases the back bend. There is no gold medal for achieving any one of these shapes, rather just making it a practice of listening to where your body is at this morning. So taking that shape now, closing the eyes. And just begin to address the breath from this place. Notice how it's showing up for you at first. And then we'll begin to alter that breath. The breath is so powerful in our yoga practice for so many reasons. Breathing in and back out through the nose. There's a lot of physical benefits we don't tend to talk about. So if you needed yet another reason to know why you focus on the breath, a couple are drawing that air in through the nose and only back out through the nose. Actually broadens your palate, making more space for your teeth over time, of course, not right off the bat. It increases O2 saturation, so it can help you breathe in an otherwise a compromised place, like during exercise or during an illness. It can help create a more robust, wider windpipe to receive that air. Research shows, as I've been listening to podcasts lately, that actually how we were meant to breathe. know air quality doesn't always cooperate. We just do our best to breathe in through the nose and back out through the nose. It also has a parasympathetic effect on the body. I like to imagine getting in a fight with somebody and being only able to breathe through your nose. It kind of makes it silly, makes it a little difficult. That automatic effect it has, it's profound. Such an easy thing to do. You have to be aware, you have to place your focus on the breath. So doing that now, drawing the air in to a count of 6, in through the nostrils, feel the air sweep past the nose, past the membranes down the throat, filtering out all that air naturally, and the exhale, air back out through the nostrils, a little warmer, used by the body, to a count of 6, matching that inhale count of 6, and exhale count of 6. We use this breath as a proxy this morning, a place to focus our attention when the tendency is to go to things that do not serve us. And again, another biological reason for that, I'm sure, as we developed, it was beneficial for us to focus on negatives, maybe for survival. You have to remember where the predator lives to make sure you don't get attacked. However, in our modern world, focusing on these negatives doesn't always serve us. Instead, it can manifest as depression or anxiety, depending on what repetitive thought we attach ourselves to. Either there are so many positives to focus on. They can be hard to find if you can't cultivate that awareness. And so one of the ways we do so is by practicing cultivating attention on the breath, broadening our capacity to understand where you place your focus will grow, like the way you water a garden, which you water will grow. Let's just get good today at focusing on the breath, interrupting the moments when the mind goes to something that doesn't serve us. Without berating yourself or judging yourself, just notice that it happened and bring the attention back to that breath. Maybe we can't always stretch it, or it won't always be available. 6 counts in, 6 counts out. We do our best. So taking 3 more rounds of breath here with this broadened, extended inhale and exhale. Just this. Your 3rd exhale, go ahead and release the technique. Let your breath be natural. Notice any places in the body that are needlessly clenching and relax them now. Become aware of the way the ground supports you. The feeling of the backs of the hands resting on the mat, that gentle curl of the fingertips in toward the palms of the hands. Unclenching your muscles of the jaw. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Soften the eyelids, gently closed. And unfurrow the brow. And with your next exhale, the knees are wide. You take the hands outside the knees, draw the knees to center. The legs are extended, we'll bend into the knees now. Be mindful of props and support beneath you as you extend the right arm up overhead. Slowly roll to your right side, catching yourself in the fetal position. Use the strength of the arms to gently make your way up to a comfortable Sukhasana, easy seat. When you arrive, close the eyes, let the palms rest, face up at the knees or the thighs. Shoulders gliding down the back. Take a deep inhale together. Hold the top of that breath. Sip more air in. Hold. And open the mouth, let it go with a sigh. The gaze softly float open. And we'll begin this morning by clearing off our mat, keeping the blocks handy or your pillows handy at the top. Coming down off some height. If you've taken it, we'll roll through hands and knees to child's pose. Your child's pose is just that, it's yours. So you can find a shape where the big toes touch, the knees are as wide as the mat, or the knees and the hips sink back toward the heels. It's not necessary that they touch the heels. We just send the message. And whatever's comfortable here, we can reach the arms long and forward. Maybe relaxing the place between the eyebrows down to some support. You can make support with your own body. Doing whatever we need right here. Taking these breaths from the base of the tailbone up through the crown of the head. And exhaling, let that light, see that breath glide back down. Hear yourself breathing in through the nose and back out through the nose. And we'll vow to maintain this level of awareness of the breath throughout the course of our practice. Be kind if it ever escapes us. And using the next inhale, lift the hips up to tabletop position. Stacking shoulders over wrist creases, middle fingers point straight forward. Maybe widening through the knees or bringing the knees underneath the hips, whatever needs to happen here. And let's inhale. Start by lifting the tailbone, drop the belly, shine the heart. Exhale, tuck the tail, rounding through the back body, shoulder blades slide apart, chin to chest. Inhale to this cow shape. And exhale to cat. Maybe close the eyes, really get connected with the flow of the breath. Inhaling, lift tail, drop belly, lift chin. Exhale, tuck tail, press the palms forward, nose towards your belly. Give me 3 more rounds of your deepest breaths right here. Completing 3 inhales, 3 exhales, stretching the movements to match the breath. And after you finish that last movement, we'll come to a neutral tabletop, long spine here. Feel the 2 long side waists reaching out through the crown of the head. As we look forward past the edge of our mat, again, where we focus is where we go. So with that in mind, let's step our right foot up in between the hands. May take a few more steps, but again, just aim, send that message. Block props are available if you need them here for this first low crescent. Hands can be underneath the shoulders on props or fingertips on the floor, whatever works for you. Hips continue to drop down and evenly forward as you lift the gaze. Maybe we walk the hand then up to our knee. Shoulders melting down the back. Inhale deeply through heart center. For a little more support and stability, you can press through the top of that big toenail, unless the toe is tucked, of course, for balance. That works great too. Stabilizing through the core, exhaling navel to spine. We'll use that later. And if we'd like, well, we'll just stay here like that. One more inhale. And as we exhale, straighten into the front leg. Feel the hips shift back. Going for hips over that left knee. Hands can be on the blocks if the hamstring's a little fussy. Notice when I just drop my hips back a little bit, my knee stays bent. Kind of avoiding the goal of this pose. So I'm going to instead pull my toes toward my nose and scrub my right heel forward till I find a straight-ish right leg. Micro bend at the knee here, it's early for the hamstrings. And I might take support here beneath the hands, maybe fingertips to the floor. Whatever it takes to draw the shoulders back around the spine and offer the heart long and forward, flexing the toes back towards your nose. Maybe windshield wipe to unglue that IT band. It's early. I feel it. Gaze is just past the edge of your mat. Wiggle, point, flex the toes. One more inhale with that long, flat back. And exhale is to bend again into the knee. Make any adjustments that we need so that the knee lands over the ankle. And hands can walk back up to the top of the knee. Maybe this time, arms out to cactus. Or we stretch the arms up overhead, biceps beside the ears. Really broadening through the heart again, paying attention to the degree to which that hip drops down and forward. They go equally together. And with the exhale, a little twist here. Left hand, no matter where it comes from, finds the outer edge of that right thigh, close to the knee. Right arm reaches, and as we exhale, swim the arm back, reaching for the wall behind you. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. We use that exhale, pull the navel to the spine to achieve this twist. Leverage with the left hand on the outer right knee. Gaze softly and roll those shoulders down the back and look over to see maybe the wall behind you or your right thumb, wherever it is. One more inhale here. And the exhale, cartwheel both hands back down to the mat. Step the right knee beside the left. And sink the hips to the heels, child's pose. Just a moment, let that sink in. Feel the space we've created on one side of the body, maybe more than the other. Comparison is just here for data, not get attached to what it might even mean. Use the next inhale to roll back up to tabletop. And again, with the gaze forward, stepping where we're looking, left foot floats up in between the hands. Maybe we urge it forward using the support, the hand behind the ankle. Hands at the blocks, we used it on the other side. Again, toes tucked or untucked is a preference, up to you. I like to feel the pressure of the top of my big toenail pressing into the mat, sort of activates the top of my right hip. Before I float my hands up to my knee, shoulders glide down the back and lift the gaze. Relax the skin of the face. Notice if you're starting to open the hips out to the right, you can be like avoiding a lot of what can be happening to the top of the psoas. And it's okay if we look more like we're just kneeling like a King Arthur here, that's fine. The hips will start to come down slowly with each breath. I might not see it, but you can feel it. Last inhale here. And as we exhale, we'll shift the hips back, stacking hips over that right knee. Hands to support if we need it. Straight into the left leg and scrub that heel forward as much as it takes. It's musical. Inhale with that long flat back, too long sideways here. Pull the toes back towards your nose, point and flex. If you flex, you can go side to side, sending that message all the way up to the top of the left hip. Find a little stillness, looking past the edge of your mat, lengthening through the crown of the head, spine in a nice line here. And as we exhale, we'll bend into the left knee again. Do what you need to stack the left knee over the left ankle. Now we'll find that little back bend, or that deep back bend, crescent warrior shape, low crescent warrior. Arms can float up beside the bicep, or biceps beside the ears, or cactus arms. A little more intense on the second one, using that back foot for balance, for support, lifting the gaze. And exhale, right hand comes to the outer left knee. And exhale, swim the left arm to the back of the room, whatever that means for you. Use the inhale to lengthen first through the crown of the head, and the exhale to torque into the twist. Pull the navel toward the spine, gaze back over the left shoulder, a little or a lot. Reaching through those fingers like you mean it, no matter what you're reaching for. Send that message. Inhale. And as we exhale, cartwheel the hands back down to the mat. Step the left knee back beside the right. And here we'll move the props off just to the top corners of the mat. Bend the elbows right alongside the waist as you lower the whole thing down to lying on your belly. Untuck the toes. Keep all 10 toenails pressed into the mat, pulling the shoulders around the spine, elbows lengthened to the back of the room. Inhale, keep the gaze at neutral here. Again, focus. This one we're gonna focus at what's directly in front of us. And as you inhale, lift the gaze, press the pubic bone, and lift maybe the palms, float up off the mat, baby cobra. One more inhale here. Trying to lengthen instead of pinch and crunch on that back bend here. Keep the long side waist, keep it lifted. And exhale, lower it down. Hands to the top of the mat, stack the hands for the forehead to rest, bend at the knees, little windshield wipe here, release that back on that first back bend, just getting warm. And when we're ready, extend the legs again. Palms come down by the low rib cage, thumbs touching the ribs. Up through hands and knees. Tuck the toes. Lift the knees slightly. Press the chest back toward the thighs and find our first downward facing dog. So we'll lift and shine the stick toward the back of the wall behind you where it meets the ceiling. External rotation from the hips and thighs, trying to show the inner thighs to the back of the room. Before we do anything else to alter this dog, just pause for a second and catch your breath. Find it. Pull it in through the nose. Encourage it to do so. And exhale back out through the nose. Now we'll bend into one knee and then the other, pedaling through the feet. Make that bend as generous as it needs to be to straighten the left leg, urging the heel toward the mat and opposite side. Deep bend in the left to straighten the right. Back and forth a few times, feeling how the side bodies are feeling while we do this. And again, find some stillness. Let the head hang heavy. Maybe draw some circles on the floor. Lifting up out of the wrist creases, keep that pressure into the first finger and thumb. Eyes of the elbows roll forward. Deep breath in. Maybe open the mouth, let it go with a sigh. And using the next inhale, look up between the thumbs and walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to look forward with a flat back. Fingertips to the shins here. We stack the spine, look forward toward the horizon. Slight bend in the knees here to protect the low back. And as we exhale, fold and round. Inhale, roll to rise, stack vertebrae on top of vertebrae. Scoop the belly up and in. Coming to standing, Tadasana, palms face forward, close the eyes. Return to the breath. And using the next exhale, let the gaze float open. Inhale to reach the arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers to the webbing and press the palms toward the ceiling. We might not get totally straight arms here, just send the message. Shoulders drop down and away from the ears, regardless. A little tuck of the tail as you exhale. Reach off to the right as your hips go to the left. Powerful outer edge of the left pinky toe. Opening through the left side body, use the right fingers to slightly draw longer out of the left side waist. But notice there's contraction through the right side for support. Breath can become shallow, be aware. Inhale, lift the gaze, come back through center. And lean off to the left. Notice the stopping point might be earlier on one side versus the other. We're just aware. Pressing through the outer edge of that right foot, out the left, or the right palm. Inhale, back up center. Tuck the tail, lean back and take the gaze just past the thumbs at the ceiling. Exhale, prayer the hands, soft knees, and float down through a forward fold. Inhale back to that long flat back. Half lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, scoop the belly up and in, roll to rise. Big reach. And this time, we'll take the left wrist into the right hand. Right fingertips draw the left arm out to the side, lift or reach to the right, hips to the left. Shoulders melting down the back, a little deeper maybe. Inhale up center. Switch the clasp, reach to the left, hips go right. Both hips shine dramatically forward here. Stack those armpits. Inhale back up center. Prayer the hands, soft bend at the knees, float and fold. Inhale, long flat back. Exhale, fold and round. Inhale, roll to rise, hang like a rag doll. Big reach, stretch up, staple fingers this time. It's progressive. The further we get away from the body, the more intense it becomes. Keep that focus on the breath. Root down through the tail, up through the fingertips, and exhale, lean to the right. Keep using the right arm to pull the left armpit almost out of the socket. Now, ground down through the left foot. How's the breath? Inhale, center. And exhale, reach left, hips right. Notice any trembling, any squeezing of the face, let it go. Just breathe. Inhale, center. Exhale, tuck the tail, lean back. Trace the ceiling with the fingertips. It doesn't have to be dramatic. And exhale, swan dive, arms reach wide. Soft knees, flat back, fold. Inhale to a long flat back. Exhale, round forward. And fold into the thighs here. Take a deep bend at the knees if we need it to place the belly on the thighs. Keep that as you relax the back of the neck. Let the neck be long. Head hang heavy. And from here, plant the hands, bend the knees if you need to heel toe ball the feet to touch. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. The outer edges of the feet are parallel with the long side of your mat. And we'll take it up to a chair pose. Hands come to heart center as you lower the seat, sit down into your chair. Make sure the weight stays in the heels more than the toes of the feet. You can wiggle your toes, in fact. And the thumbs may touch heart center, shoulders melting down the back. Notice if there's a change in the breath, in the focus. If you can pull the focus away from what's warm, what's tight, what's working, and just take it to that gaze far in front of you as you keep lowering the seat. And maybe reach the arms up overhead, biceps beside the ears. Take one more inhale with these long side waists. And exhale, bring the chest to the thighs, sweep the arms back, airplane wings. Palms face down, neck is neutral again, just looking past the edge of your mat. Weight still in the heels more than the toes. Inhale to sweep the arms up overhead once more. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold, long flat back. Hands to the mat for support and forward fold here. Nicely done. Walking the hands forward, or walking the fingertips to the mat, take a deep bend in the knees if we need it. And we will step back to the top of a push-up plank pose. Notice which foot you step back with first, just out of curiosity. Hold plank here. We can always lower the knees if you need to. But if we're tucking the tail with the legs long, squeeze the inner thighs, reach forward through the crown of the head. If you're starting with the knees lifted, everybody with the exhale drops the knees, bends the elbows back alongside the body, and lower the heart all the way down. Untuck the toes. You can take baby cobra here, or king cobra. Palms walk slightly forward. Feet are split a little bit apart. Tuck the tail and lift the heart. Arms may move towards straight. They don't have to come too straight. Shoulders gliding down the back. One more inhale. Press through the fingertips. And exhale, lower the heart. Thumbs come back by the low rib cage. Big toes to touch. We can come out through hands and knees. Or tuck the toes all the way up through a push-up. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And hold. 3 breaths here. Taking the gaze up between the thumbs. Walk the feet to the hands. Notice which foot you step forward with this time. Inhale to your long flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Roll to rise. Stack the spine, big reach. Hands touch at prayer, and you can soften the knees in prayer fold. Or if it's comfortable now, wide arms, flat back, swan dive. Inhale to a long flat back again. As you exhale this time, we'll bend at the knees to make space for the fingers to come floor. Walk back, take the different leg back this time. Start your little steps with the other foot. Coming to the top of the push-up plank, you can always lower the knees. This time, if you'd like to, you can push forward off the toes if we're in plank, lower the elbows, bending to 90 degrees, no lower. And if you'd like to, place the chest on the floor and take one of those back bends, or keeping the knees lifted, untuck the toes, knees off the mat for upward facing dog. In either case with these back bends, you really want that tail tucked and the shoulders away from the ears. As you exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Or if you were on the belly, coming up through hands and knees, and lift the hips down, dog. Shake out through the top and back, let it go. Are you breathing through the nose? Next inhale, looking up between thumbs. Again, step with the opposite foot first this time. Stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale to your long flat back. Exhale, round and fold. And inhale, roll to rise. Big reach. Stretch up. Close the eyes, hands through heart center, Tadasana once more. Standing strong, mountain pose, top of the mat. Collect that breath once more. Notice where the mind goes when the body gets still. Urge that focus back to the breath. In through the nose, back out through the nose. Soften something. And with the next exhale, let the gaze float open. So from here, top of the mat again, big toes to touch, outer edges of the feet parallel with the outer edges of your mat. Slight gap between the heels. That's where my hips need to be. You might be slightly different. In either case, taking it back to chair once more. Hands to heart center. Sink the hips back and lift the gaze. You're going to press the back body up against an invisible wall behind you. Or like the back of a chair because you're in Utkatasana, chair pose. One more inhale here. And from this place, I'll take my right arm high, or left arm high, right hand to the outer edge of my right hip. As I exhale, draw my left elbow across center to the outer edge of my right thigh. Keep the hips low. They don't want to lift, I know. And the left hip wants to jut forward. Make sure that your knees are in line with each other, so draw that left hip back. It starts at the hip. You should see the product is the knees. Lower the seat again, palms to press this time. So use that leverage, that hand, to set the belly down as close as we can to the outer edge of that right thigh. Palms to press. Maybe I spin so much with the exhale, my thumbs can touch heart center. Relax the seat, relax the gaze. Looking farther forward than you think you should, off to the right. Place some weight, more weight, into that right foot and start to let the left heel become light. Feel for the ground behind you as you exhale, take a big step back with your left foot to a twisted crescent. I have to use my hand again to try to set my belly closer to my right thigh. Palms press, left hand into right hand to the left, strong back leg. So firm up the left thigh, kick the back heel to the wall, shoulders away from the ears. We might look over to the right or up to the ceiling. Where we focus, we will go. Long flat back, and on the inhale, we'll unwind. Left fingertips lead the way. All the way up to straight legs, pivot on the heels, wide legs straddle, hands to the hips for support. So the outer edges of my feet are parallel now with the short side of my mat. I lift the heart, lean back, and with the exhale, take the heart forward, hips back, forward fold. If you've got a block handy, we can place that beneath the hands for support. Hands may come easily down to the ground. If the top of your head is touching, your feet are too wide. So walk the feet toward each other a little bit more. External rotation from the sit bones. And here we'll let the head hang heavy. Feel those long side waists. The product of that opening that we did and the twisting that we've done so far. Instead of letting the focus go where it probably wants to go, to the hamstrings. Let's focus on the positive. We are positive that we have opened our side waists and we have twisted and we are warm. One more inhale here. Exhale, soft bend at the knees if we need to make the hands connect to the mat. Walk the hands forward, long flat back. Pivot on the right heel, toes forward. Walk the hands all the way back to the top of the mat. Coming to the ball of your left foot. Continue that right foot all the way off to the right side of the mat, making space for the shoulders for our lizard pose. Palms can press here, and we'll keep that for just a moment. Everybody up on straight arms. Turn the right toes out slightly, so make like a 45-degree turn on a diagonal. And we'll drop our left heel to the mat. So take the pinky toe side of the foot to the mat. Notice how right away that right hip wants to splay open and come to the pinky toe side of your right foot too. So you're safe, your hands are planted, you're okay. Keep dropping your knee out to the right. Keep 90 degrees at both ankles for support and safety on that knee. A little modified crooked monkey. And we'll see here if we can lengthen through the heart, draw the shoulders down the back and lift the gaze. Always breathing through the nose, letting it go. So start by dropping the right foot to the mat, come to the ball of your left foot, and now we'll take the left knee down to the mat for lizard. Untucking the toes if it's in your practice, and we'll just stay here. Palms planted, heart lifted. And instead, we usually take the focus back at that left knee and start to tip the head forward, shoulders round, and all that business. I'd like us to do this pose differently today. Keep hugging the right side waist with that right knee. Weights on the big toe side of your right foot. Palms are pressing, and we'll try to make a back bend out of it. So draw the shoulders down and away from the ears. Sink the tail and lift the gaze. Looking forward. Focus that attention on the right big toe. Hips dropping evenly to the mat. Last inhale. And as we exhale, let's tuck the back toes, lift the knee. Heel toe ball your right foot back to center. Walking back to the right. We've got time. So from here, loading on a little bit of spring into that left leg, and step forward to that wide leg Malasana squat. Toes out to diagonal, heels in, lower the seat, palms to prayer. Elbows can drive the knees apart as you lift the gaze, thumbs might touch the chest. Lift the gaze, maybe close the eyes, let the mouth fall open. Exhale, chin to chest, stretch the backs of the shoulders. Now plant the hands, lift the hips, heel toe ball the feet back through center. Inhale, long flat back. Exhale, rounding fold. Inhale, roll to rise. Big reach, big stretch. Hands to heart center. Letting go of anticipation for what's to come. Stay present. The second side, a whole different adventure. That said, as you exhale, sink the hips down into your chair pose once more. See if you can put the weight in the heels, see if you can lift your toes, see if you can lift the left side of your mouth, maybe the right side of your mouth. Something is going right, find what it is. And from here, the left hand comes to the outer edge of the left thigh. Right arm reaches long, keep that long side waist. And exhale, twist using leverage of the left hand. Right elbow comes to the outer edge of the left knee, urging the right hip back so the knees stay in a line. Palms to press, and heart spins. Lower the seat, shoulders away from the ears. Lean back into the shoulders, lengthen through the crown of the head. Keep that, now start to put some weight to the left foot. Right toes might float up off the mat. Little hover, little hang time, and take a big step back to your twisted crescent. It's okay if it all fell apart, put it back together. Build it from the ground up. Left hand to the outer right thigh, palms to press. Lean back into the shoulders, long neck, powerful back leg, that's your rudder, and take the gaze far off in the distance. Notice that you can cultivate some more stability. Watch those shoulders. Inner thighs rolling toward each other. Breathing. And with the inhale, right fingertips reach forward, lead the way all the way up to 2 straight legs, pivot on the heels. This time, hands can stay at the hips if you liked that variation. Otherwise, hands behind the back, interlace the fingers to the webbing. Knuckles drag toward the ground, lift the heart, and exhale with a flat back fold. I'm a little pigeon-toed here with my feet. Again, that's for the outer edges of the mat to be parallel with the outer edges of my feet. That's where I feel most grounded. And the the hands can come up off the sacrum a little or a lot. Or of course, hands can drift down to the earth for support. Shoulders can crowd the ears here. External rotation from the sit bones. Revel in those long side waists. And if the hands are bound in the Yoga Mudra bind, take the knuckles to the seat or to the sacrum when they touch. Unclasp the hands, fingertips to the ground for support. Walk the hands forward to a long flat back and come to a runner's lunge, top of the mat. We'll find that little wonky crooked monkey real quick. So left foot walks off to the side of the mat so the hands can plant. Arms stay straight for now. Turn the left toes out slightly to a diagonal and we'll exhale, come to the pinky toe edge of both feet. Ankles stay at 90 degrees, hips start to drop, maybe the gaze can lift. Unclench the muscles of the jaw. Find something that can relax. Find something that is strong so that you can relax. And using the next breath, it's simultaneous. We come back to the toes and the foot. And we'll set the back knee down, untuck the toes, flex the chest forward, keep the weight on the left big toe. Palms press. It's like a left-legged forward fold, but a right-legged back bend. Nailed it. Heart lifting, neck long. A lot of intense top of the right hip and outer left. Something else is going right. Take the focus there. And when we're ready, we'll tuck the back toes. Keep the left foot where it is. Little spring in the step. Step forward, top of the mat, wide legs, straddle. Heels in, toes out, lower the seat. Malasana squat. Urging the knees apart with the elbows, chest lift. Relax something, maybe little neck circles, right ear toward right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear toward left shoulder, chin to chest. Try not to lift the neck, I don't like that for the cervical spine. We'll just drop it down and side to side. Coming back through center, hands to plant, heel toe ball the feet, back to toes touch, and roll to rise. Without touching any clothing or adjusting yourself, close the eyes, find Tadasana. Take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it go with a sigh. Let the gaze float open. Play a little bit with balance, because if we're not going to talk about focus and gaze, we can't do that without talking about balance. So, finding something way far in front of you. As we look straight down, that's usually where we're going to go, right? So we follow the gaze. So keep the gaze on something far in front of you that isn't moving. pro tip, and we'll take the arms out to a T. Keep that gaze fixed. Again, this is how we keep stable. And with the exhale, we'll cross the left arm under the right, big swoop, and maybe the hands come just to the shoulders here, shoulders drop down and away. Maybe the backs of the hands can touch, or if there's a bind here, we can bring the palms together, shoulders drop down, elbows lift, fingertips, pinky fingers reach forward. Keeping lots of 90-degree angles here. Uh-oh, where'd your gaze go? If the hands are in front of your face, you have to imagine. So we'll keep the chin lifted. Try to see past the hands in front of you. Send the message. Rock the weight over to the right foot. Maybe the left toes become light. And with the next exhale, we start to sit down into our chair. As we do this, the left knee lifts up, and we try to stack our left thigh on top of our right. Sink down a little lower. Maybe the left toe comes down to the mat like a kickstand. Maybe it hooks all the way back behind your right ankle. Sit down into your chair a little more. Lean back, try to put your back into that invisible chair back. Visualize where that gaze, that focal point was. Notice any frustration you feel for not seeing it. It's okay, just breathe. You got this. Sink a little deeper, squeeze the inner thighs, draw the left hip back. If you fall out, just come back the way you came. With the next inhale. Step into that right foot, push the ground away, unravel the legs, unravel the arms, big reach. Hands through heart center, shake it out, let it go. Tadasana, close the eyes, and feel. Come back to your body. And with the exhale, let the gaze float open. Flying on the second side. Find that focal point once more. If that one didn't work for you last time, change it up, I don't know. Adapt and overcome. Arms out to a T. This time, right arm under left arm. Bend, tops of the shoulders. Bend and touch backs of hands, or capture the palms together. Reach the pinkies forward, elbows lift, shoulders down the back if we've got the bind, and start to put some weight to the surface of the left foot. Right toes can become light. Maybe start to bend into the left knee, sit down into your chair. Right leg floats up and crosses over. And find your kickstand or find your toe hook. Squeeze the inner thighs. Squeeze the elbows and armpits. Draw that right hip back. Sink a little lower. Have you taken a breath? Now is a good time. Find that gaze. Notice any disruption and annoyance that you can't see that gaze. Send the message. A little lower. Laugh if you fell out and just come back. Using the inhale. Push into the left foot, straighten into the legs, let the arms fly like wings. Big reach, stretch up, soft bend at the knees, prayer fold all the way down, let it go. Looking forward to a long flat back. Bend deeply into the knees, coming down through a chair, or all the way down through crouch to seated. You did it. Nicely done. So from here, we'll find figure 4 for our hips. The hips just worked a lot and all that twisting for stability. Figure 4 or pigeon. If you're really in love with pigeon and you want a pigeon today, I'm cool with it, but we're gonna start on the back. Shift the hips to the heels and use the hands at the knees or the arms extended to slowly roll down through Navasana, boat pose, flat back, toes on the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. When you arrive, you'll step the right foot, ankle crosses over the left knee. You start to just walk your heel in towards your seat. This might be enough here. If you want more, you can push the right knee away or hug the knees into the chest, hands behind, interlacing fingers behind the left knee. And then notice how my right elbow is kind of handy. It's right there. You can push my right thigh away. Keep 90-degree flex at the ankles. Feel the shoulders supported by the earth. And what I'm doing is almost done. It should just be about feeling nice right here. Belly soft, breath full. And if you'd like, you can straighten into the left leg. You're reaching out for the calf or for the toes. One isn't better than the other. Just relax into the needs of your body this morning. Let the breath guide you. With the next exhale, let the leg go if you've got it. And bring the sole of the left foot to the floor. We will walk your left foot off to the left side of the mat, maybe all the way off the mat. Arms out to a T or a cactus, and exhale. Just let the right ankle guide the left knee down to the mat. There's a twist at the hips. My hips lift a little bit. Toward the right, shining the hips like a basin, the pelvis like a basin to the right. My gaze off to the left. A little bit of a back bend and twist. Relax the face. 90 degrees at the ankles for knee safety, always. And come back through center. So 90 degrees at the knee, or at the ankle. Step the left foot to the floor. Heel toe ball the foot back through center. All the way over to the right hip this time. Right heel pushes into the left knee. Encouraging the left knee toward the floor. Now it's a quad stretch with a little bit of a twist. And gaze can go over the right shoulder. It feels nice. Soft belly, soft gaze, let it go. Bring the inhale, the head back to center, step the right foot off the knee, hug the knees into the chest. We'll prepare our second side. Left ankle crosses outside the right knee. Sole of the foot to the floor. If this feels okay, walk your heel back towards your seat for more. Push the knee away. Maybe we lift the right foot off the mat, capturing behind the right thigh. Going to a place that's similar to where you were on the other side. Step it up incrementally though and just check in along the way. Being kind. Notice that the focus will jump to points of pain. Know that you're okay. And then make adjustments from there. Take the focus back to the breath. Something that's going well. And we'll bring more of that. Shoulders relax into the mat no matter what. 90 degrees at the ankles for safety. Soften the face. Relax the brows. And if we've got the foot or the leg, we'll let it go. Step the right foot back to the floor. 90 degrees at the ankles. Arms out to a T or a cactus and walk that right foot all the way off your mat. 90 degrees at the knee, 90 degrees at the ankles. The pressure of the left ankle on the outside of the right knee draws the hips down. And I let my hips lift. That pelvic basin is showing off to the left. My gaze can go to the right. Back bend, twist, quad opener. Soften something. The inhale to bring the head to center. Step to the sole of the right foot, heel toe ball the foot through center and over to the left side of the mat. Left heel steps to the inner right knee, pressing the right knee toward the mat, quad stretch, and gaze can go over the left shoulder. Back body spreads into the mat beneath you. Notice if there's any trembling or gripping, see if we can't exhale it away. center. Step the left foot off the right knee, hug the knees into the chest for one final well-deserved hug, and we'll take any final poses we need to complete our practice this morning. Maybe reaching between the knees, find the outer edges of the feet for happy baby. Hold the knees down toward the armpits, shine the soles of the feet at the ceiling. A little rocking, massage that low back, press the low back into the mat. And when you're ready to find your final relaxation, corpse pose, we'll send the legs straight forward. Feet flop open to the pinky toe side. Make sure you're not touching anything like water bottles or props. We want to be relentless in our relaxation here. Palms rest face up. Close the eyes for Shavasana. Somewhere where you can stay in Shavasana for an extended period of time while remaining consciously unconscious. I invite you to do so. If you need to get on with your day, we'll start to breathe some movements to fingers, toes, circle wrists and ankles, gradually head side to side. Maybe stretch the legs long, arms up overhead, take a full body stretch. And if you look forward to a more active day, bend into the knees, roll to your left side, or a more restful day, roll to the right. In either case, just be held in the fetal position. And we'll use the strength of the arms to make your way up to your comfortable Sukhasana, your easy seat. Height beneath the sit bones if we need it, legs extended, maybe you're kneeling, whatever that looks like for you. When you arrive, let the palms rest face down. Close the eyes. I thank you all for sharing your practice today with me and with each other. We'll close our time together with an audible exhale. Please receive your deep breath in. Hands together at heart center, thumbs facing towards you, fingers out to the world. Namaste.